2 of the day. We got a matchup between the number 1 seed and number 16 seed. Sorry for the scramble. I grabbed Brian's headphones over here, your headset over here. We're all over the place.
You was on the peanut M&Ms, man. Don't lie.
Okay, that's true. My wife may be watching.
Oh, my bad.
All right. Anyway.
He had a grilled chicken salad earlier, though.
I did with balsamic dressing. I am being very healthy. Listen, who's healthy right now that's good to see for the crew is Winters Grady.
Yep. And
we saw him go down last week in St. George, Utah, at Utah Prep. It did not look good, but I'm glad to see him on the floor of the Michigan commit. Let's start there with the crew. They come in as a team who has gone undefeated 2 consecutive seasons here on the Grind Session. They're 2-time champions. They're the first program ever to go back-to-back, trying to go into even more unprecedented area of repeating. Dynasty talk here? Where do we start?
Mike, Scotty,
Let's start with the staff because obviously each team was very different from one another. But the coaching staff has been the same. What stands out about this group of coaches for the crew and what they've done and accomplished over the last 2+ seasons?
I'll go back a few years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I first met Coach Ryan. I think it was actually his first year at Prolific.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, just as a young guy, he just told us he's 27 years old now. So this is probably when he's 23 or 4. And to have the respect of guys like a Aiden Holloway, a Michael Nwoku, a Trey Green, like to immediately get the respect, what that meant was is that they saw he was prepared. They saw he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
They saw that he had a great system. And a coach that won 2 state championships in high school before he even got to Prolific. And then now what he's done at Prolific is incredible. And I think that he's one of the best young coaches in the country. I said it on the last broadcast, how much they paying this guy, because how's he still there? Yep. Obviously I'm kidding.
Feels like, hold on now, hold on.
Obviously that's a joke, but I mean, this kid will be a college coach somewhere, someday, and probably, I mean, who knows when.
Now let's turn our attention to the guy on the screen. DP has been the guy. He's been the man since day one. Let's be honest. Since day one, he's been the guy. He's given the crew whatever they needed. Not just points, not just stats, but leadership, work ethic. He gets it done on and off the court. What makes this kid so special? What makes him the number 1 player in the country? What makes him the player of the year, Naismith Player of the Year? What makes Kansas say he's the best recruit they've ever had?
I think it's a combination of things. It's a supremely gifted player in terms of skill level. His athleticism, especially amongst high school players, not so much vertical because he is vertical, but his ability to transition horizontally, his quick twitch, ability to get up and down, his skill level, but the biggest thing is the poise that he plays with and his level of maturity. You don't typically run into that with a high school player, regardless of their athleticism or level of talent.
Listen, I just want to say how great a shape our camera mom is, because she didn't shake one time during that 4-minute pregame right there. And we are set. Everybody's in post-game season mode, and let's turn our attention to Minnesota Prep. They squeaked their way into this thing, and Jalen, he's a senior. He has been on the Grind Session longer than anybody in this gym. Played in more Grind Session games than anybody in this gym. And Jalen has an opportunity to make some noise here today, which is all his coach right there and dad has wanted for him to do. He's got Big Bro in the audience, or actually on the bench help coaching. Talk about what an opportunity this is for Minnesota Prep.
I remember our first event. His freshman year, maybe even 8th grade.
No, it was 8th grade. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with it.
At Donda, or when they played, or not when they played Donda, but at the Target Center.
Yep.
In Minneapolis. And young kid, but you already saw the potential. You saw his ability to play against guys that are already seniors and things like that, and he wasn't scared. So if he wasn't scared as an 8th grader, his development only took him even further, and he's become a very, very good player and a great scorer.
All right, we're going to send it over to our PA announcer for the introduction of our starting lineup.
coach Lucas Patterson. At one guard, a 5'9" senior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 2, Jalen Patterson. At the other guard, a 6' junior from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Rylan McPike. One inside player, a 6'7" senior from Minneapolis, number 5, Isaiah Ayala. Another inside player, a 6'4" senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 10, Honest Alongo. And the big man in the middle, a 6'5" junior from St. Paul, Minnesota, Charles Duncan. And now the starting lineup for the number 1 seed crew from Prolific Prep, head coach Ryan Bernardi. Starting at 1 forward, a 6'6" senior. He is from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Will play his college basketball at Michigan next year. Number 2, Winters Grady. One inside player, a 6'11" senior from Greene, Ohio. He'll play college basketball next year at the University of Washington. Number 4, McDonald's All-American, Nico Mundalo. The big man in the middle, a 7' sophomore. The number 1 Jew sophomore in the country from Lagos, Nigeria. Number 5, Obina Akizi Jr. At one guard position, a 6'3" junior from Cedar Hill, Texas. Number 23, 7 Spurlock. And at the other guard position, a 6'6" senior, the Naismith Basketball Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, headed to Kansas next year, Darren Peterson.
All right, so we're set and ready to roll, and the top-seeded Prolific Prep is about to start what they hope to be a 3rd championship run, but it's going to have to start by going up against this Minnesota Prep team. This Minnesota Prep team, they take on the heart and the courage of their head coach, and they're going to need a lot of it. It's a tall task here for them, but they're going to be up for the challenge.
Well, I mean, and realistically, Minnesota Prep, I mean, you're playing this game with nothing to lose. I mean, honestly, it's like go out, and I'm just saying, and play with that style or that fearless mindset. You got nothing to lose. Just go out and play hard.
Yep.
Shoot your shots, run your offense, see what happens. Ooh.
He threw that like he was mad at
Coach Patterson just got hit with a piece of gum, I think.
All right, so the crew wins the tip-off, the opening tip. Winters Grady get their offense started. And still there by Jalen, getting his palms on it. He'll stop and pop if you let him. First possession here for Minnesota Prep. Honest. Here's there. Over to Winters Grady. That won't go. And Obi tries to save it, but it'll go back to Minnesota.
Get over there.
Jalen into the front court. High screen here by Duncan. Duncan letting it go. And that's going to be a turnover. And back to Prolific.
It hasn't yielded results yet, but I like this look from Minnesota with the ball in Jalen's hands and him setting the table for these guys. There's no secret. All these guys, one of the reasons that the grind session is important is you get better. But the point for these guys getting better is to get to the highest level of basketball that they can.
Yep. Here's Winters Grady. Spurlock.
Yeah,
kind of comes up lame there.
Turned an ankle or something on the way up.
Like he went to gather and just came up gimpy. And
3-point field goal, Darren Peterson.
That's what you call shot ready, right? Just hands ready, shot ready, beautiful stroke there from DP.
Hey, you gotta time that. Y'all going too early. Touch.
So 7, Spurlock, he'll
We the Frankie
limp off. MJ a check on him.
come off it. You gotta set it.
Last time we saw Naismith, he had one terrific game filling in
Yeah, I
when
agree.
Peterson wasn't around. So him subbing in for Spurlock. I don't think it's such a big thing with Spurlock being out.
Nico with the rebound. Here comes DP. Everybody decided to wear T-shirts today for some reason.
I was about to say, he's coming out in the Ben Gordon
Yeah.
look there. Or Khalid El Amin. I mean,
That's
old school.
Let's go to the swap meet, get 2 for $5 T-shirts going on right
Yeah.
there. Boys, you need something fresh before you head to the skating rink, you know, get spilled something. Run over here, grab me a couple T-shirts. Long sleeves. Which is Grady.
Mr. Flat Chuck. Hey, Jelly, come get it.
I could never hoop in a T-shirt, like underneath the jersey.
Mr. Flat Chuck.
Just, I don't know, it did something to me, man. Like wristbands, too. I couldn't
Right.
do the... And Jalen knocking that one down. First field goal of the game for Minnesota. We're tied at 3.
and to Coach's point, that's from years of learning how to shoot over people that are bigger than you there for Jalen Patterson. That's what that experience does for you, is gives you that ability.
And a turnover there. Nico with the rebound. DP into the front court. And Naismith.
3-point field goal.
Yeah, that'll hurt you.
Naismith.
Great skip pass as well. And
I haven't seen more kids throw stuff to the coach. What do they have on? This another kid just guys taking off tape. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just about the 3rd time I've seen it.
beautiful miss right there. But I was just going to make a point that kind of some things that you've told me as well is Peterson is that guy, just like you saw right there. He's just going to make the right play. Even though on the grind session he averages 32 points a game, he still just goes out and makes the right play.
Yep.
If the kick there to the corner is there, he makes that pass instead of forcing something himself.
That's a misconception in basketball, Curran. Guys think that because you score a lot means that you're not making the right play, that you tend to be selfish. But by definition,
oh, beautiful.
What a pass.
by definition, I try to tell all my young guys, being selfish is making the me play. And if the me play is to shoot the ball and you're insecure and you're not shot ready and you decide not to, if you are shot ready but you decide not to shoot the ball, that's selfish.
Right.
Him scoring the ball, like that's absolutely, like that's the right play. Him averaging 32 points a game. He's attacking. He's looking to be aggressive. He's looking to be assertive. He's looking to do a lot of really positive things. And when you don't react to that, he scores it. He scores the ball.
Well, he also averages six assists a game as well.
How about that block by Abina Kesey, the sophomore? Future of this front court is very bright for Prolific. Winters Grady fading away, knocking it down.
Shooters all over the court for Prolific. And that's just tough to guard, man, because they got guys that can put it on the floor and drive as well. A lot of tough covers on the Prolific side.
Across the board.
And that's for anybody, not just Minnesota Prep.
Honest, looking to go to work. Nate Smith sitting down defensively. A kick out to Duncan.
Great
McPike.
extra pass there.
Yep, that wouldn't go, and Nico with the rebound. Over to Peterson. Peterson scanning the floor. Back to Nico. Nico thought about it. Back out.
I can celebrate the pass, finish it.
Yeah.
Done a great job. You attack the gap. You got 2 feet in the paint. You're 6'9". Put the ball in the rim. We'll be a great teammate the next possession. That, as good as his teammate is, being one of the top sophomores, his game hasn't developed to the point that he does a great job catching the ball. So to put that pressure on him to have to catch it in traffic like that, it worked out that time that he got to the free throw line. The vast majority of the times when you make that play, it's a turnover. Just finish the play.
I think a lot of that development as a big as well is already having your feet, you're already into your 1-2 even before you catch the ball.
100%.
You know, not every time, but I mean in certain scenarios.
Just want to make a note, 7 checks back into the game here for the crew, so good sign there as he came up limping and one. That's how good of a scorer he is. Just whatever. He just gets still just. The game loves him. Like the game, you know what I'm saying? You get some guys like they make stuff look easy that's really, really hard and difficult, and you're just like, how?
Well,
like, the game just loves him.
You know, and when we were talking about just making the right play, like who's the poster child for that? And I'm again not comparing them, not even comparing their games, but just playing style. That's like LeBron. You know, LeBron is always, and he's been criticized for that for his entire career as well. But he just makes the right play, and that's the kind of kid you love to coach, man.
LeBron's never been a score-first guy ever in his career.
Right.
Nate Smith. Another sophomore looking to go to work. Nico, good shot.
With the roll, Nico Bungalow for 3.
17-5. Mozzie and Rajon Roberts set to check in. Next whistle for the crew. 20-5. I'm sorry. Here's Duncan. And Peterson with the block. Yeah, add that to his resume. And a rebound for Peterson. And an outlet touch pass. Oh, man. I wanted that to be an assist so bad.
Wow. Great finish by Nate.
Chris, save that pass. What about the awareness of that?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what that reminded me of.
Yes.
Is LaMelo Ball when we had him at Spire Academy on the grind session. He was the same way. Like basically before his feet even touched the ground, the pass was already getting out. Great outlet, great heads up, just IQ.
Good wall up. DP. Easy too. And we're going to get time out here. But folks, look at this back. That whole sequence from blocking a shot, getting a rebound, to the outlet pass shows how special this kid is.
Well, we talked about this earlier as well. Like,
look at this. This is not fair.
Yeah,
help side, come in, help side here.
It's being 2 steps ahead. He already knows it's gone. You know, it's like I'm saying, it's like that LaMelo stuff right there. And again, I'm not comparing players. I'm just saying the style of play, type of IQ, that type of thing. And
24-5,
tough, man.
Yeah, absolutely. What's it going to take for Prolific to win this thing again? I mean, we know nobody's going to, as you get towards the finish line, everybody knows what everybody runs. I don't care if you throw in a few new wrinkles. Your personnel is your personnel. I mean, what is it? Is it?
I would say,
I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it could be this staff, right?
Yeah, it's just be who you are. Play their game. Don't let anything else get in your head, and just do what you do. And, I mean, that way you just live with it. If somebody knocks you off, then so be it, you know. But, I mean, obviously they're not going to take it that simple. But I think if they are who they are, then they prevail.
Nice.
3-point field goal.
Jalen knocking down his second 3 of this ball game.
And that's one of his best skill sets as well, is shooting off the dribble. He really shoots well in rhythm over contest.
Kind of a little bit of over dribbling by Nate Smith there as well, but the crew will try to get it moving. Nico attacking immediately, losing the handle there, and Honest into the front court. Honest through traffic. Duncan's going to get a good look with the extra pass, and that won't go. And That's going to stay with Minnesota Prep.
That's one of those plays that Nico made just a second ago. Got downhill, you got 2 feet in the paint. Just finish the play. Like, he was looking, he had a teammate in the corner that was about 3/4 open, but he couldn't find an angle to get the ball, to throw the ball down there.
John Body, not Jam Jabody, that's John Body, and he's somebody blocking that shot right there. And Crew turns it over. Afterwards, Honest trying to take advantage, and that's in and out for Minnesota Prep. Here comes Crew. Mozzie committed to go to LSU, getting into the front court here. He's a kid that can get streaky and score a ton of points and bunches.
Kick.
Ray John kicks it out to Mozzie. Good look. Good result.
Good shot, or good pass results in a good shot. And that's just great paint touch right there. And great job by Mozzie to relocate a little bit, to drop to the wing there for a wide open 3.
Good defense there. Ray John's sitting down on Patterson. He still lets it go. That is in and out. And John Body with the rebound. 7 to Mozzie. Nearly walks with it to Gabe Naismith.
Great
going
decision.
baseline, and he'll get fouled. We'll see if it's on the floor going up, and he's going to have 2 shots.
Fouls on number 2, Jalen Patterson. That is his 3rd.
Ooh.
5 team fouls on the line. Gabe Naismith to the free throw line for 2.
I think Lucas has a point there.
Yeah.
I tend to agree.
That's one of the reasons that I probably would be one of the worst referees ever.
Well, to your point there, like, to me, I thought it was a decent wall up, and then it was turned into a bad shot. I don't credit him for taking that bad shot if I'm an official. Or reward him for that.
Exactly.
Duncan starting, going, left hand good.
Charles Duncan.
Duncan's another one of those guys, really shows no fear in the DC event. Shot it well that weekend, so he's got that ability as well.
It's about a half-second difference between shot clock and game clock here. Ray John.
Another good wall up there by Patterson.
And Patterson's out of bounds as he gets that rebound.
I'm a huge fan of Roberts. I really want him to be successful. In order for him to do that, that pass has got to go to the corner. When he turns the corner, you can tell I think he's a good kid and he's a potentially really good player. But his thought process is, if I score enough, they'll love me. And so he makes decisions instead of making the right play, which we've talked about, is to let me go get a bucket so people will think I'm good. And that's like, every bucket isn't a good bucket for your position.
31-10, the Crew leads here early. And we knew it was going to be a tall task here for Minnesota, but they're competing. Listen, they came to play. They're not going to lay down, back down from anybody. And they'll play hard no matter what the score is.
Yeah, right now, Prolific being led by Naismith with 10 in the first quarter. DP with 7. Minnesota Prep, Jalen Patterson with 6 in the first quarter off 2 threes. And he's their leading scorer. Minnesota Prep just 4 of 20 from the field, while Prolific is 11 of 14. So Prolific shooting at an excellent clip right now. And of those 11 buckets, 9 assists from Prolific. So 9 of their 11 field goals have come from an assist. That's what you love to see if you're Coach Bernardi, that the team is playing the right way, sharing the basketball, everyone contributing.
Pressure here by Ray John. Good move. Honest
Oh, I was going to say, yeah.
Come on, man.
Fouls on number 10, Mozzie Mosley.
2 shots coming up here for Honest.
His first. First team foul.
Hey, look at it, bro.
And good job by Honest. Again, we talk about this all the time, 2 feet. If you go up off 1 foot right there, you may not get the call.
We agree on the back. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
So first shot good.
Now.
Some pressure being applied here by Minnesota. Winters Grady. Kick it out. DP with a clean look.
Got to get off that again. Mozzie standing in the corner. That's not the play.
Fouls on number 5, Isaiah Ayala. His
Well, it's one of those two. You know, if you've drawn 2, you've done your job, right? You know, and to finish the job off is to hit that corner.
Yep.
To your point, Coach, it's not always about, well, if I score, I did my job.
Yep.
Well, not necessarily.
A lot of with the mixtape culture that we live in and the clips and the social media, a lot of our young players are under the impression that that's it. That if you light up the scoreboard, that you're a good player. And you're a good player if that's what your team requires of you to be successful.
Right.
But if you're averaging 30 a game and you're getting smacked night in and night out, or either you're winning but you can't win the games that matter, then your 30 points don't mean anything.
I think something to keep an eye on too. I'm not saying minute restriction, but I think you're seeing, if you notice or remember in the first quarter there, Peterson probably didn't play the last 4 or 5 minutes. I think that's maybe a strategy of Bernardi of letting other guys.
Let's get this done quick.
Yeah, and get your legs and be ready to play further in the tournament when we may need you. Don't just rely on your superstar.
Winters Grady.
But if
We
you
see
look
him
what
go for
Peterson
30
did
plus.
there,
Yeah.
he knows his shooter's in the corner. Colin, to your point, he drew a second defender, drew it with his eyes. He threw the ball to the guy that was open for the play that should have been made.
The wall up defensively there. Rajon racing the other way and couldn't get that one to go, but the follow. Somebody throwing it down.
But if you're from Robert's position again, if you think about what you've done, you've had probably 4 or 5 drives. You've gotten 2 free throws out of it. And like if you're trying to earn the trust of a coach, when I look at your plus minus under those conditions, you haven't really helped us. So I don't really have justification to give you more minutes or more opportunities because you're not being productive.
That's his first. Second team foul.
Mozzie.
And again, the right play.
Yep.
Drew the defender, mindful of my teammate in the deep corner. Let me pitch it to him so he can catch it. An accurate pass was made. He caught the ball in rhythm. That's what you have to do.
That's a 3 already.
I'll check it out.
Good look for 3. It's Winters Grady with the rebound into the front court.
That's a tough one. Not very characteristic of how Winters typically plays.
And knocked down there by Jalen. His third 3 here.
Yeah, third 3 of the game. All contested threes as well. And all off the dribble. None of them have been off of an assist. It's been all on his own.
So we got a full timeout going on right now, and just talk about the history of the Crew. We're saying, can they make more history? We were watching just the SEC tournament as well, and how many former Crew members, grind session kids, just in the SEC tournament. We were watching Texas last night. We saw Arthur Kaluma who played for Texas, Dream City alumni with Kyle Weaver, playing alongside Jordan Pope, former 4-year guard for the Crew, and something rare you see. And Jordan Pope, we talked about it. He's a prime example of what this league is all about. We hear about the stars, but there's guys like Jordan Pope that benefited a great deal from playing on the grind session. He went from a starter to off the bench. He absorbed whatever the team needed him to do, and his leadership has been tremendous at the collegiate level, and he's been outstanding.
And let's just be transparent. Probably not going to play in the NBA. Right. But like I said earlier, he is the success story. Like going 4 years of college, never has paid for college. He's going to be able to have the ability to get any job that he wants coming out because of the commitment that he made on the basketball floor. Mississippi State, they've got 3 guys from the grind session in Woku, Josh Hubbard.
Alabama has a few. Rodarion Reed, Aiden Holloway.
Yep.
The list goes on and on. Sherelle.
Yep. He played it prolific as well, correct? Yep. Josh Hubbard's a kid who we saw at the Lighthouse Classic in Corinth, Mississippi. And this dude's lead, he averages 18 a game.
He made staying at the Quality Inn worth it. Well, nobody can make it worth it. I don't care if I was going to watch MJ. I ain't going to lie to you. Nico rejected that one. And it's going to be a reach-in foul there.
These guys from Minnesota really compete. I'd like to see that. 28 points against a team of this caliber with as much talent as they have. It'd be real easy to just shut it down.
Right. Yeah, you see no poor body language, nothing like that. They're just coming out to play.
Like a 0-0.
Yep.
Good shot there.
Perfect example.
Blackshear knocks that one down, the 5'11 junior, and feet get tangled up there, and it's going to lead to a fast break.
Nice finish right there. Ayala. Left hand looking like a little bit like John Wall there on the break. Huh? Oh, coach.
It's like, all right.
John loved to dunk with his left hand, did he not?
Okay, the assists are racking up here for Peterson. 7 assists already.
Yeah.
7. 5 minutes to go here. And Jalen's racking up these threes.
4 for 8 now for Jalen. And once again, every one of them has been contested. Tough shot.
That's tough. I thought the ball got knocked loose.
Maybe 3 seconds, but I didn't see travel.
Yeah.
I think he was anticipating being able to get back in that drop step. And when the ball got dislodged, a little extra movement on his foot.
Loose ball. And good hustle by Minnesota. Good wall up, too.
Yep. And that's what I love that, as Coach mentioned earlier, just a sophomore, and you could tell. Usually you see a sophomore probably foul right there.
Yep.
But great wall up. He's been trained.
I seriously think DP is like going after an assist record right now. Like, he could have easily taken that shot. He is making every extra pass that you're preaching to kids to make. Just making the right play, man.
I'm going to get you assists here.
48-23, 4:02 to go here in this this half. Coming up at half, we'll hear from the coaches. Get their thoughts on the first half of this one.
Still 14 assists on 17 field goals. Field goal makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So almost every one of their field goals has come from an assist. Something that'll make your, like I said earlier, make your coach very happy.
So 4:02 to go here in this one. Listen, we've got a lot of great matchups over the next couple of days. Any matchup in particular that you guys looking for? Give me an upset. Give me an upset alert. I need an upset alert. Let's get it out there.
I'm on TNA next game.
Oh, my gosh. Somebody check his drink, please. Check his water.
I'm all in.
Check his water. I know it looks clear, but I don't know if it's water.
All in.
You know, we from Kentucky. That bourbon, man. Golly.
That'd be that.
Coach, I can't see that one. Kyle's team's just too disciplined for that early.
That clear would be that moonshine.
I'm willing to be wrong.
Oh, man.
I'm willing to be wrong. If I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be wrong with a group of guys that play that way.
They're not going to call it a go-10, but that may have been a go-10. Love the move from Patterson as well. I don't even know how to describe what that was, but he kind of stepped back and then stepped back up into the shot to draw the foul. That was very smooth.
First free throw good. Jalen off to a great start.
Yes, he is.
Here in this one.
Already in double figures now with 13. Jeez, 14. So you talked about resume earlier. Add that one to your resume. And half of his shots that he's made has been over Peterson. I'm not saying that's a one-on-one matchup, but something for film for sure.
That's out of bounds.
Black ball. Black ball. Black ball.
Oh,
That's still and Jalen balling.
again, over Peterson.
Yeah.
16.
Wow.
For
And a steal from behind there. And here
that.
yo, stop and pop. Yes.
3-point field goal, Jalen Patterson.
My goodness.
5 threes, 19 points for Jalen Patterson.
The first.
Fouls on 0.
Lucas might as well go ahead and make Lukai an assistant coach, because if his brother's going to play like this in front of him, you got to get him in every game.
3 team fouls.
Here comes Jalen. That may be another stop and pop. Why not?
Absolutely.
And Nico with the finish there.
Bungalow. Fouls on number 1, Gabe Naismith. His first. 4 team fouls.
I just want to give Minnesota Prep a lot of credit, too. As you mentioned earlier, down 20, but I mean, they put up 30 points, against a great defensive team in Prolific Prep.
Yep.
Not many teams in the country can slow Prolific down, so them scoring 50 is not shameful at all. That kid's so quick, man. Great pass.
Yeah.
Nate Smith with the rebound into the front court here.
Now,
Being chased.
Jalen does have to be smart and not pick up his 4th foul. Remember, he's got 3.
Who does? Jalen?
Patterson, yeah.
Wow.
Fouls on Ryland.
He picked
The only
3
thing
up
that's going to stop him.
very
The only
quickly.
thing to stop him today.
His dad's reminding him every possession in transition. He's telling him, Jalen, no, get back.
Yep. Oh, another assist. Another assist.
The flush.
I promise he's going to end up with 20 assists in this game.
Don't get me wrong,
I
I
don't think
love
he'll
the
be on the
pass.
court that long. I think you're right in that
Yes.
he could potentially, but this game will be, and they've got to play tomorrow, so I don't think he'll be on the floor long enough to get 20. That's a lot. He's definitely capable, though, to your point.
Jalen on pace to go for 50 in this game.
I was going to say, while we were talking, another bucket
Yeah.
for Patterson. But what I was going to say a minute ago, great pass by, and another one. But to give credit to the sophomore big, if he doesn't make that cut, that pass isn't there. So give him credit as well for being available.
pipe. Weaving through traffic, kick out, Duncan. That's off the rim. Winters Grady with the rebound. He's looking to get rid of it. And
tough catch.
Yep.
Bad spacing on that by Prolific. Both of their bigs were basically posted in the exact same space.
There's Duncan. Under a minute to go, 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, and foul there as
Foul on number 2, Winters
Duncan to go
Grady.
to the line here to shoot 2. That foul's going to be on Winters Grady.
Second,
That's
15th
Winters'
foul.
second foul and team fifth.
Great recognition by Duncan right there as well. If
Charles Duncan,
that's the
14.
big there, he probably doesn't try to even attempt that, but he sees that it's Grady, knows that he can get the body contact and still get the shot up.
Jess, what's the assist record? 17. And where's he at right now? 10? Where's Peterson at on assists? 9. (52-33). Nate Smith.
There you go.
Another assist on a made field goal by the crew. They have had an assist in over 80% of their field goals here in this ball game so far.
Probably nearly 90. Ooh.
Blew out a tire there to Duncan.
It's probably the shoes.
And it's going to be free throws because we're in bonus.
Fouls on Naismith, his second. 5 team fouls, Isaiah Ayala.
I think
you're line for
if you're Minnesota, you take a bit of solace in the fact that you've scored the ball from one position well to go into the half and be only down 20 points. I think you're in a situation that you keep your head up.
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, there's no shame in that whatsoever. And I mean, they're only dressing 7 guys.
Yep.
You count that one, nope.
And that's going to do it for the first half.
Great half there, very entertaining, high scoring. Who doesn't like to see that?
Yep.
I'm going to get with Jesse here, come up with some stats.
Thank you, guys.
AJ, I think the first it'll be Coach Bernardi. Already with AJ, so I'll get you some stats after the interview. AJ?
All right, here with Coach Ryan, 20-point game here at halftime. Team sharing the ball. Stats read, you guys have assisted on more than 80% of your field goals made. What's the thought process for you guys as you get ready for the third quarter?
Yeah, passing the ball well. If we had made a couple shots there at the end, we'd probably have 65. Disappointed at following the scouting report on the defensive end of the ball and the looks that their guard has. He's a very good player, and he's got very clean looks. So we're going to have to dig in a little bit defensively, follow the scout better.
All right. Yes, no problem. We'll hear from Minnesota Prep when we come back. Also coming up here at halftime, we're going to hear from the older brother, the older Patterson from Minnesota Prep, who made his mark here on the grind session, see what he's been up to with his collegiate career, what the grind session has meant for him as he watched his little brother Jalen. Listen, it's absolutely getting buckets, even though they're down 20. He has almost 20 himself here in this ball game. We'll see. We'll talk with him when we come back. This is the grind session.
welcome to the grind session here with Energy Sports. And we're set here ready to roll here for
All right, we're back in this. Listen, we're here at halftime. Minnesota Prep taking on Prolific Prep, and we're here with a vet, man, alumni right
That's
here.
right. That's right.
The statesman, the older statesman, man.
He's an OG of the grind session.
Listen, how cool is it to be back, being around the grind session, seeing this type of talent, but watching your little brother play at this level, man, and performing very well?
Yeah, just it feels like full circle to me. Just seeing my little brother out there, playing in the same league I played in, and then just seeing, how much the league, developed and what it's came to be how far it's came throughout the years.
21 in the first half as well for your little brother Jalen.
Wow.
Yeah, now talk about what it meant for you and your development. I know listen, your brother's been out here since 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
You spent years out here. How did they help your game, your game, into becoming a Division I player, coming out of Minnesota, where a lot of guys were kind of, it seemed like you guys were always the underdog, kind of fighting for that respect, so on and so forth, wearing that emotion on your sleeve.
Yeah.
How much did this league develop you or help develop you into the player you became?
It developed me a lot. Just being on the road, just doing schoolwork on the road, and it translates to the next level. It's NBA guys in here, so these 2-3 years, these guys gonna be in the NBA. So it's iron sharpens iron every night. There's no night off in the grind session. The bottom team could beat the top team. So that's just how good the league is, and I feel like it just helped my game, tremendously, going into the next level. Like I have seen everything, so it wasn't like nothing I was wavering, going into college, and just went out there and just took my talents from high school to that next level.
Already used to the size, already used to the game speed. I think that's one of the big things that, playing against 7-footers, playing against guys that are super quick, super fast.
It's not regular. It's not regular high school. So that's like I said, guys is going to the NBA, and probably 3 guys went to the league right after that season in my 2020 year. I think it was Jalen Green.
Yep.
Daisha Nix and Isaiah Todd. They all went to the G League after that. So it was, it's just like I said, iron sharpens iron every night. Man.
And in that 2020 year, you were Offensive Player of the Year. So my question is, who gives who buckets, man? Your bro giving you buckets these days? Who winning that one-on-one, man?
Yeah, he's a little fast guy, so I don't really like going little guys like that. But no,
you don't feel like chasing him around?
He's definitely. I'm just happy to see him coming into his own, man, and just doing what he's doing and doing what he loves. He haven't even played in regular high school, so this is all he's seen. It's crazy. Since I think he played in his 8th grade year.
Yep, he did.
And then
that was the bubble year.
Yeah, that bubble year. But he him coming on trips, watching me play like the year before that. So he been around this thing. So I'm just happy for him. Out here playing. Doing what he's doing. Having a tremendous year this year. So, but he still can't mess with me. So it's all good.
So my question to you too, man. Give us one of your fondest memories in playing out here. I know you mentioned that 2020 year. I think this year kind of compares to that year, and the most talent accumulated at one time on the grind session when you talk about the number 1 and 2 player and DP and AJ. But talk about one of your fondest memories, whether it's 2020 or before that. What stands out to you here in your career on the grind session?
We was going on a road, man. My senior year, we had a really good year. So I mean, we won 20 straight. I think West Oaks was top 25 in the country, and we beat them. We came back from like 20 or something. I think we beat them in Central Point. That was really fun.
Yeah, Central Point had R.J. Melendez and all that. Yeah, so, some guys, man, some dudes.
So I think I played against Tracy this year and Selden Miguel. We was all 3 of us in the Big Ten this year. So, just those games, and then just winning. I think we ran off like 17 straight in the grind session. So that was just, just
hey,
good
times.
times.
Give us a little insight of the thought process for you guys now in the NCAA. I know you're at Minnesota. This portal, it affects everybody, right? It affects the guys that stay, the guys that leave. You wonder who's going, who's coming. What's the thought process and how much? Because you've lived through it. You were here before the portal, before NIL. Now it's in place. What's been the biggest challenge for the vets in the NCAA?
Really, man, it's just like free agency, bro. Like, it's really now, it's really professional. Like, you got to treat it like it's professional. You know, you got to negotiate. You got to see what people are talking about, what's the best fit. You know, people they'll go for 800, go sit on the bench, you know. So you just probably would just waste a year, you know. So, I mean, you get the money, you know, it's good. But, like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to play basketball. So, I mean, you just got to – it's hard. You know, the money looks so tempting, but, like, are you going to go there and play? And
speaking of that real quick, I know you would know more than most. I think the general fan thinks when they see an NIL deal that these guys are getting a check for that. They're typically packages, right? They're packaged up deals for some guys.
Yeah, it just depends on who you are. You know, like what deals you got, what the agency got, like what brands and stuff. You know,
how crazy is that to talk about that for college basketball? I mean, that's the reality that we're in. Man, any lasting words for Lil Bro and the Minnesota fans and things of that nature before we let you go?
Just proud of you guys, man, and let's try to cut this thing down right now. So just rooting for them. You know, hopefully they come back and get this thing to at least 10 right now. So.
All right, man. We're proud of you, man. Thanks for coming on with us. Yep. All right, we got a big matchup here, and Minnesota Prep, they'll look to get back in this thing, and it's a tall task. But like you said, to his credit, man, Little Bro is doing great. And Jalen here in this one, he's got 21, but he's going to need some help if they expect to get back in this ball game.
How good is he on the mic, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like he's a vet, right? He's a vet. He's done this before.
Great on the mic. And, you know, with Minnesota Prep, look, I thought they played great in the first half. I mean, you know, like we said, Prolific's a hard offense to slow down. But Minnesota Prep putting up 34 in the first half versus a very good defensive team in Prolific is impressive to me. 11 of 37 from the first half, but obviously carried by Jalen Patterson, 21 of the 34 points for Minnesota Prep. And Prolific, just staggering number, 17 assists on 20 field goals in the first half.
Good look for three, and that rattles off there. Mozzie. Man, that may have been a foul.
Looked like it, didn't it?
And bucket there.
Ayala, man, he's got a nice, once again, left-handed stroke. But, I mean, saw him stuff one in the first half, high vertical. How good is this kid going to be, though? I mean, to me, I mean, he's got his potential, you know, and his ceiling is very, very high. Great answer once again from Minnesota Prep. And I think that's what you're seeing Ryan Bernardi right now, a little unhappy with his guys with their defensive effort.
Yep. Doesn't want them to play the scoreboard.
Yeah, that was a pretty, like,
lackadaisical effort getting back. Yeah.
And it was very obvious.
Look at it.
He's chewing into his guys right now.
As he should.
Yeah, you got to love that. I mean, you got to love that, man. I mean, the dude.
Note taken too, DP not starting this half. Hoping to give him a half off. But have that effort, he'll have to go back in there.
Yeah.
So.
And I know it sounds simple, and I know both of you coach as well, but I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do to really coach your guys hard. And Ryan is not scared of that whatsoever. And like I said earlier, he's got their respect, and they know that he's so prepared, and that the whole coaching staff has prepared a game plan for them. And when they don't give him what his expectations of them, he's gonna get on them. And that's just great coaching again. It is.
We get a lot of behind-the-scenes access to a lot of our teams and programs. I would love, I don't know if they would want to document it, but just a 24-hour span of them preparing for an opponent, the amount of film that goes into it, learning teams' play calls, because they call out other team plays like they designed them. The defensive assignments, the matchups, how much details and analytics go into their preparation. Be interesting to see.
Well, and you can tell from the past, they practiced other teams' plays.
Yep.
Like, you know, I mean, like you said, they're calling out the plays, but you can tell that they've already prepared and run those plays themselves in practice to go against defensively.
And to the point where they know who the primary is, the secondary is, and maybe even the third option on some teams that they've scouted.
Oh, yeah, that's a foul.
Yeah. Got into his landing spot there, and this kid still balling.
Look, man, if you compare it to college, this is like a team going up against Kansas. This is like a team going up against Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke. It's, you know, like, you know, you always hear coaches or commentators say this is their Super Bowl or whatever. But think about Patterson right now, the performance that he's putting on against one of the top teams in the country, probably arguably maybe the top team in the country. And, I mean, just to put on film what he's done in this game already has been very impressive, and I'm proud of this kid.
Absolutely.
It's 2 or 3 at the line there. Mozzie looking to go to work, going baseline, and that hit out of bounds. Yep. I think he stepped out and the ball hit behind the backboard, so double whammy there.
This is a really, really difficult scenario to manage for Coach Bernardi and for Darren. I understand you want to save them. You don't want to put unnecessary miles on them. But this is a very difficult balancing act. How long do I sit him? And then, what does that cost me ultimately when I put him in? Is he in rhythm? The last couple shots that he took, he didn't make. And those are shots that he typically does make. So holding him out, if the game gets, back to a more manageable space for Minnesota.
I play devil's advocate.
Do you bring
here.
Peterson in and let him try to do his
my
thing?
thought process is if we're going to win a third world championship, we need to take care of business and let our guy rest if that's our game plan.
Yep.
We're talented enough. We're experienced enough. We got to be detailed enough. We're prepared enough. And I guarantee you, him sitting in the third quarter is not a random thing. It's probably by design coming into the game before they started. So
we talked about that in the first half.
Yep.
I mean, and like you said, you can't, or the message he's probably sending is you can't always rely on this guy.
Yep.
He's going to have to rely on you at some point.
I said to Ryan in a private conversation, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, I told him, I thought this was going to be your hardest championship to win, not only because you're trying to do something that hadn't been done again, but there's a lot of times where DP's had to put his cape on, which has made him the best player in the country. But at what cost if he has an off night and that, Clark Kent doesn't come out? Yep. So Superman doesn't come out of that suit.
Yep.
And
got to have other guys step up.
Exactly. So this is valuable minutes, valuable opportunity. Now, we've seen it happen. Winters Grady go for 30-plus.
Yep.
Last weekend,
yes.
And two.
And Mozzie have big games, even in Hawaii, things of that nature. And Nico, very capable right on cue.
And two, Peterson's missed 7 games this season as well. So, I mean, they've got the experience without him.
22-point game, Duncan. Paint touch. Listen, Phil sent me a text, man. Quality Inn, not like the resort we were staying at in Napa. Listen, I hate Cullen. Missed that one. That was one of those, man. I felt bad that my wife was at home. I'm not even gonna lie. It was like I should be ashamed of myself to be in a place so nice.
No, it was really nice.
If that Quality Inn knew some of the words I've said about them in the past, they would hate me, I swear. I call it the
No. That's what they'd be like, oh, we've heard that before.
I call it the LQI, the lack of quality.
Listen, and just to tell the funny story, man, it's a great event. Lighthouse Classic, Corinth, Mississippi, in the middle of nowhere. The fans are absolutely phenomenal. They have the best hospitality room ever, and very hospitable Southern hospitality there. And they only have like one main hotel. So we, as a staff, wanted to make a sacrifice to make sure the kids are comfortable so they get the good hotel, the Holiday Inn or whatever was there.
That's what it is.
And we got to stay at a quality behind a Waffle House next to a taco place. I don't know.
Yeah, that's enough.
I remember the second year we were there, I brought my own blanket and comforter.
I was hiding under the bed one year.
If you're at a hotel that's located in the proximity of a Waffle House, you're probably not where you want to be.
I'll kind of name drop some guys that we've seen at the Lighthouse Classic.
First one, Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That's where I saw him with Hamilton Heights with his teammates.
Which Hamilton Heights is back on the grind session. Boys and girls.
Yeah.
Boys didn't make the tournament, but the girls, we'll see them next week.
Santos Cyril is another player from Hamilton Heights, but teammate of Gilgeous-Alexander was Nikel Walker, Alexander Walker, I think it is.
Steps.
Who's also in the league.
Their cousins are related, if I remember correctly, too.
They had 3 Canadian guards. They were all about 6'6". And Shea, that was right.
But Shea was one of those. I just didn't see it that early.
I didn't see MVP that early. No, and 31, 32 a game.
I've got a little Shea story also. I think my second year at Word of God, we were playing at a random event down in Wilmington, North Carolina, at New Hanover. Hamilton Heights comes down, and they've got all the height that is supposed to be there. So
they're the dudes.
Exactly. We weren't matched up against them. We played before, and my guys were just killing me we want to watch them. I've seldom been so thoroughly disappointed in a kid with so much height. Shea looked terrible. I was like, this kid shouldn't be going to Kentucky or anywhere else. There's absolutely no way. His body language wasn't good. He didn't seem like overly athletic or skilled or anything. I was like, this kid's gonna go there and drown. And the conversation I had with my guys was that like coach, no, but I said, I don't care what he's supposed to be. He wasn't that. So to watch what he turned into, it's nothing short of phenomenal. Now, granted, he wasn't as bad. He wasn't as bad overall as I saw him that night, but it goes to show that you can't always judge kids so harshly.
Yeah.
Exactly, so quickly.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look at the last possession there, Chris. And the refs are going to take a look at the action there right before that last whistle. 3:32 left here in this third quarter, and we'll pull that replay up here in a matter of moments. And while we do so, I want to remind you, you can follow us on social media, The Real Grind Session on Instagram, Tanager Sports on Instagram. You can slide over to X, formerly known as Twitter, The Grind Session on X, Tanager Sports on X as well. 65-50 is our score. Keep going forward, Chris. See if you can you zoom in on the bottom, or you got a good enough look? All right, they're going to talk about it. See if you can take away the ticker for a second, Chris, and see if we can zoom in. I think they're looking at the bottom half. There we go. All right, so the crew is going to get possession. I think that's off Black Glass, off the foot of Honest.
The call is overturned. It will be for Olympic prep basketball.
So I'm assuming the crew challenged that play?
Yep.
Okay. We're in the midst of
we were yapping there.
Yeah, we were yapping to the captain.
And it's a 15-point game again. I mean,
big call. Nate Smith. And they'll stay with the Crew with 11 seconds to go here on the shot clock. What about this Crew program, man? How about Jalen Green? We was talking to Kai earlier, Patterson, as they blitz the ball there. It's going to be fortunate to stay with the Crew. Jalen Green was a dog, man. They won that championship in 2020. That was the first one for the Crew. During that COVID year, it was a unique game. They beat OSL, Posh Alexander, who was phenomenal. Wusu. Air ball there. It's honest. Coming back the other way. Cash. We got ourselves a ball game. 12-point game.
26 now for Patterson. Ooh, yeah. Good call. Good call and great job by Patterson.
Great job.
Chesting up there and taking that forearm.
Hope they didn't got the tape off of DP yet.
13 foul.
Take them ankles back up, man.
12-point game.
Send them to the hallway to start jogging. This thing's getting a little tight.
This thing gets to 10. You better believe he's coming in.
And here comes a foul on Naismith. Yeah, listen.
His third.
Can't, you know. It's only so far you can play with your food here. Starting to get interesting.
Well, once again, we talked about it. Those are things that'll drive you insane as a coach to you foul on that shot. Like, make him make that shot. If he makes it, okay, we head the other way. Instead, you basically give him a free 2.
There's Nate Smith. Oh, man, it traveled there.
5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, that's a travel.
Not sure if he wasn't passing that ball. Maybe bonus anyway. It is bonus, so it doesn't matter. Shout out to the Crew. Everybody working hard to drape this facility we're in. You just see grind session plastered on everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we're draped out in here. Gonna see some, I'll go ahead and give you a little teaser, maybe some international play this spring with the grind session. Relationship with FIBA. 66-55. Mozzie will check in on the next dead ball. Oh, that's a good look there. That won't go. And Grady got hit twice.
Yep. Ryan letting him have it right now.
I mean, he did get popped a couple good times there.
Don't let him catch that. Don't let him catch that, Chuck.
There'll be a foul call. If not a wide open layup, there you go.
Layup by Gabe Naismith.
Coaches know, right? Coaches know that psychology. You get on the ref a little bit. If anything's close, more than likely you get the call.
Hook shot for Charles Duncan.
Here's Ray John Roberts into the front court, getting downhill. And that just rattles in and out there.
It's big.
Yep.
It is.
You can get this under 10 on this possession here.
10 seconds here. Oh, corner.
Oh,
there
yeah.
it is.
We need that.
Short. And a dunk.
Jalen, good hustle to get back to that one.
Yes.
I mean,
All the
getting
way.
downhill and
It was.
playing his heart out right now.
Yes, he is.
My goodness.
Fouls on number 5, Obi Akizi.
5 steals for Patterson in this one as well.
His second.
Big time game here for this kid.
5 team fouls. Jalen Patterson to the line for 2.
Hey, Kai. Kai.
First free throw short.
Prolific's got to have a playmaker step up.
Yep.
This next 10 minutes and 20 seconds,
Okay,
they
it's a
have
good
to have
opportunity for
somebody
Mama. Call one.
to
I'm
step
going to
up.
go Mozzie here. See what Mozzie does over the next couple minutes. 10-point game.
It's one of those, I'm not going to have Big Brother come and fight this dude for you, right? It's time to step up, and you guys do it yourselves.
Winters, Grady to the right.
You got to touch the paint on this. They've been out of rhythm. They haven't made a shot in a while.
Patterson got to keep this. Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he got fouled there.
You need those layups if you're the crew.
Might want to try, well, not might, but they're going to try to go 2 for 1, I would assume. Now that's the next thing for the grind session.
Yeah.
However,
talk to me.
I was gonna say the charge
Restriction.
restriction,
it's not on every
but
court.
that's what I
as
mean,
much
right?
as we travel.
We're gonna have to take the tape everywhere
Flop,
we
though.
go, put it out there, because that's an important rule of basketball as well. That would for sure be cool to have, but like you said, I mean, it's not on every floor, especially on a high school floor. But every high school floor should have it, if you, in my opinion.
It's part of the development of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's no different than the shot clock.
That leads me to a conversation.
Bring it with you.
Are those little things the reason why international basketball has caught up and some argue is better at this point?
I don't think so.
No?
I think the overall philosophy, like, we tend to get what we celebrate. We celebrate athleticism, so we get athletes. That's what we value, and so that's what the kids reflect back to us. We value undersized guards beating the ball to death and taking extremely difficult shots. And if you watch our undersized guards, that's exactly how they play, because we insist that in order for them to be recognized, that they have to play that way. And if that guy can do it, what's your off guard going to do? What's your small forward going to do? If our premium, if our currency is just get a shot, and we're okay to just take it and throw it at the basket from anywhere and call it a floater and say that it's an NBA thing, then what chance do we really have?
So what is the value of the international game?
I think
what do you see in their value?
For guys to come in the gym, and regardless at what age that you enter basketball, the currency is, can you dribble, pass, and shoot a basketball? Do you understand the game? Exactly. Do you understand the game? Can you play? I think they're not only they're teaching defense, but our guys at the younger ages that we're trying to teach them, there's not much. We put them in 2-3 zones, but there are very few coaches out there that are teaching guys this is why a 2-3 zone can be effective. It's more of an indication of how deficient the coach is, or how little buy-in he thinks he can get in from his good players. So you put them back in a 2-3 zone. They have no idea how to rotate. They have no idea how to move, and if there's nobody on your side, how to bump through. They don't know anything. They just sit back in a 2-3 zone. It makes it very difficult to understand the game holistically if you don't understand those fundamental elements. And the European system is more teaching guys, whether you play this way or not, this is the way that you should play, and giving them an opportunity to grow within that.
What European would you say was kind of the catalyst, or maybe for lack of a better word, that kind of opened the game up for Europeans? I mean, first
I know who comes to mind for me.
Dirk is one of them.
I go further back than
Drazen
that.
Petrovic.
That was my guy.
You know, that kind of guy. Detlef Shrimp. What a block. Who's yours? Who are you going to say?
I was going to go.
Nice, Mozzie.
I was going to go option 2. You said right there.
Petrovic.
Yep.
Yeah. You listen to guys.
He was lethal.
Yeah, you listen to veterans talk about him, and they say he's one of the baddest boys to ever play, you know. Now, prolific.
Some great matchups against
There you
MJ.
go, Mozzie.
Prolific had a couple big shots here. The one to close the quarter, with Winters with the 3, and then that last assist there from Mozzie.
We have a challenge, Chris. That last out of bounds play.
We're challenging the last call that the ball went off of a
74-59, 8:21 to go here in this ball game. So each team with one review challenge. Prolific has used theirs, and now Minnesota will do the same.
Yeah. That's a pretty easy one there.
I don't see how.
No.
That's a damn good looking referee right there, though.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to work a little bit on his mechanics down there. You got to get that arm a little straighter going up, you know. You got to work on them. You got to get them triceps going a little bit more.
Call stand, coach. Stand white. Stand Grable.
74-59.
I don't know if that was a play.
Now, if I'm a coach, I want my guys to be honest.
I was going to say, I don't know if that
was.
was.
Tell me, don't use that.
Right. I was going to say, I don't know if that was a player giving him bad information, but that was an easy.
Yeah, coach, let's save it.
I'm
yelling, save that one. Save it.
Yeah.
Is that my 30 or my 4? 4. So I got 30 to 4 left. Bump, get off. I said, you don't need to be up there like that. Bump it. Just bump it. Just bump it. Just bump it.
Oh.
Oh, that's yours, Jalen. Come on, Ron. Come on,
Mozzie.
Ron. Stay down. Yep. Dig, Ron.
Inside to Kesey. Getting smothered there. You're going to get it.
Walk first. Travel first.
Jump
I
ball.
don't disagree.
I don't need.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Mozzie right now. They don't need a guy to go get a bucket. They need a guy to manage every possession, get them in their stuff, and put the ball where it's supposed to be.
That's you, John. That's yours, John.
Mozzie. Kick out here to Winters. That won't go. Being in Kesey. Good ball movement.
Don't love that. Those are the possessions that cause you trouble down the line.
Nico with the rebound. Mozzie with his head up. Advancing to Nate Smith. Nate Smith, he'll get fouled by Jalen. That be his fourth.
And the coach's point, Mozzie's kind of being that, he's being that lead guard right now, creating, making the right passes, nice advance there on the basketball.
And that's what it takes. That improves your worth, especially on a team that's constructed like this. With Darren Peterson on the roster, your team is completely full with all the bucket getting it needs.
Right.
Your value is increased when you show that I can and will score when you need us to, but you can trust me to get the ball to where it's supposed to be and get it to who should have it. And I can manage a game. And that translates. Whether you're at Prolific or if you're at LSU, when you get down the stretch, coaches value guys that can take care of the ball.
Of course.
Our system, the system that we're run, and what we're doing will get us enough buckets.
Right.
I need somebody who's going to put the ball where it's supposed to be. Like even that, Mozzie, that wasn't his fault. He didn't take the shot, but you have to know your personnel. And in a situation like that, if you pitch that ball out, that kid's young. He's going to shoot it. So you keep that. You get a set call from the coach. You get in it and allow the ball to be moved.
Good look inside, and Nico learning trip to the line. Talk about this kid right here at the line.
I love him.
I think he's the X factor of them winning another championship. You know, I talked about DP having to be Superman a few times. This kid here, man, when he's completely engaged into all the details, he's got another gear. He's got another gear, and I know Ryan challenges Nico a lot.
He does. I've seen him.
Nico challenges himself a lot, and there's something else there that where you could tell this kid is as great as he's been. He's a McDonald's All-American. just scratching the surface of his potential.
I think you're spot on with that, AJ. Great second effort by Jalen on that.
Great touch in the paint as well. Ooh.
Offensive rebound all the way back out to Naismith. Gabe looking to go to work, the sophomore. Class of 2027, trying to stay with it, and he finishes there. 78-61, 6 minutes to go, and Duncan beats the crew back, but John Body was able to hustle and get back there. And we'll get some subs here. Theo Gargis checks into the game.
Don't want to lose him.
Blackshear checks into the game for Minnesota, number 0 in black. Little guard Winters Grady.
I just had a thought a minute ago about Akizi. I know he's not in the game right now. Look out.
Whoa. Nico throwing it down.
But think about the history of Prolific with developing bigs. You know, I think of, and obviously I'm not saying he's the same athlete as Adem Bona. Adem Bona is as freak of an athlete as you'll ever see. But think about the development of Adem Bona's game from his, say, junior to senior year, as far as being more comfortable on the block with his back to the basket, putting the ball on the floor, going to a right hook or, you know, jump hook, you know, that type of game. I think Akizi, with his skill set, I think you'll see him develop in a similar way as far as more comfortable.
I think the ceiling's higher.
I mean,
I think the ceiling's higher.
Yeah, I mean,
and that is a compliment to Akizi, and no disrespect to Bona. But I think offensively the ceiling is higher. Akizi already understands. I think the shot blocking aspect of it, I think this footwork needs a little bit more work as such. But he's just a sophomore where I think Bona, it was more like that comfort when the ball was in his hands. Being comfortable making those pivots, making decisions when he pivots on the kickouts and things of that nature. And that's developed a lot for him, not only here on the grind session, but his time at UCLA. And he'll find his way. Again, he's kept himself on that roster with the 76ers. We've seen him at some games this year, too, some grind session games. And but Amina Akizi,
man. Oh, Bona has been?
Yeah, he's definitely come back to show some love, man.
You talk about a great kid, man.
Yep.
That kid was so cool. Him and Steph Todorovic, they played together. Todorovic just finished this season at Pepperdine, averaging 18 points a game. Maybe the best shooter I've ever seen on the grind session. There's 30 for Patterson.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Mozzie's got to learn to use his body on that.
Yeah.
Anytime you get your hands active, you're trying to shed a guy to get open, you're probably
run the risk of that.
Absolutely. Which is almost like judo is what you have to do. Use a guy's momentum against him, dive hard and make him commit to that, and then get back the other way.
Now we're talking, baby. We bringing in the fight game. I always talk about boxing references. No, I love it, Coach.
100%.
I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy myself. Actually, I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go Street Fighter. But took all my quarters, man. All my little chore money into the video games there.
Oh, yeah. I still remember some characters from Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang.
Sub-Zero was
Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Raiden.
What was the one that said get over here when he –
yeah.
All right, I'll quit.
We're showing our age
I'm nerding out here. My bad.
The kids are at home. It's like, these dudes.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, we're staying here. Yeah.
So wait for the ball, Rajon. Look confused. You just got to move on to the next play at this point.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Inside
Not
out.
going away.
Field goal, Isaiah Ayala.
Prolific got to be careful here. Ray John's a little loose with his basketball here.
Fouls on the Angels are moderate.
Nico Gaggs checks back into the game.
That's his first and the 14th foul.
I mentioned the minute restriction in the first half. I had no idea he wasn't going to play the entire second half. That's
I get it. Philosophically,
yeah.
if we can't handle, if we're going to make a run at this thing legitimately, if we're legit and we're going to three-peat, if we can't
16
handle
seed.
Minnesota without
Darren, what are
who,
we doing?
who are we going to beat with them?
Well, this kid, oof, trying to make it difficult. And Obina Akizi
Gotta get it across.
got to run something there. Oh, good kick out. That's going to be a jump ball. I agree with it.
Yeah, great effort though from Patterson. I mean, two guys on his back have nearly a foot on him,
Yeah.
and he rips that thing out of there. It's a jump ball, but still comes out with it.
I think Prolific's got to bring a little bit of pressure here.
81-70. Horns look here for Minnesota. Jalen, it's been fantastic here tonight.
Good. Ooh.
Tries to throw a lob. Obina Akizi gets his paws on it, and Gabe Naismith. You got to give an extra pass there.
Pull it. Good decision.
Here we go, single-digit game.
Yep. Yes.
You can see it coming.
That's a
you
great
can see
pass.
it coming.
Because they took the three. Jalen was probably thinking about pulling that, but they took that away. He makes the extra pass for another assist.
My time. Official timeout for review.
Okay. What are we reviewing here?
Maybe a three? I don't
Official
know.
timeout for a review.
I thought he signaled for a goaltend.
Pretty sure it was definitely a three.
What play did you want to review?
We're going to take a look at that, the play before this 3-point. Go back to that and the last one on this end.
So, Chris, we're going to go back 2 possessions, Minnesota basketball. So you had the 3 on the last possession. You had the turnover in transition for Prolific, so the play before that turnover for Minnesota. 81-73, 2:36 to go here in this one as we get that one pulled up here in this here in just a few. In our next matchup too, we'll have a matchup between Dream City Christian and DNA Prep.
That's why I let it go. So right here.
It's a pass. It wasn't goaltending anyway. It was.
I don't see that coming down. I see that still going up.
I love that they just want to get it right. That's. I'm satisfied with whatever it's called. It's just the effort to get it right. Got to appreciate that.
Hey, Manny. I don't see that. I don't see that.
It was most definitely a pass. I mean, I can't tell him what to do, but
That's right. So 81-73 is what the score stands right now. 2:36 left in this ball game. Let's run that replay one more time, Chris. I'm sorry, we're getting this extra set of eyes here on it. Thank you, sir. How about this for a high school basketball game, too? The technology, I know we've mentioned it before. We're good. So play is going to be a play on, so no goaltending there. They deemed it a pass.
Yes, we need the ball. Great ball. No goaltending.
So Prolific basketball.
there's that
Full court pressure, yep.
that Coach
Ray John
Fulton
can't
was
hold it,
talking
though.
about. Oh,
He's got to catch that on the move. You know the
Banana
trap is
cut
coming.
that and go.
Exactly. You got to catch it and go.
0.
You slowing up allows them to rotate back to the middle and take away your passing options. If you
Or
catch that on the
tie
run,
you up.
break contain, get to the middle, it's typically a 5-on-4 or 4-on-3 on the other end. Holding the ball is never the answer.
So first free throw good. Second free throw good as well.
If I'm Minnesota, I like this matchup. That's tough.
Barely get the offensive rebound. Nearly a travel by Ray John. He's got 2 on him. Somebody's got to be open.
That's a foul.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's big. It goes.
Boom.
Early point field goal,
We get a timeout called, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout. So, okay, can we go back to just the turnover for Ray John? Just a little point of emphasis. This is just a teaching moment that I do with just kids. Your shoulders have to be 50-50. Your back should never be to the defense, especially when there's pressure anyway. What I mean by 50-50, if you're facing towards the bleachers. Yep. All right, we're going to actually, before I even give that note, Chris, we're going to review the last made shot to make sure if it was a 2 or 3. Officials want to take a look at it. 2:09 to go here. And we'll get that replay pulled up here in just a few moments.
I didn't mark it because I didn't see where he was on the floor during the transition. So.
Yeah, here's that last.
It's a 3.
That's easy.
Yep. It was a 3. But let that play on, because after the inbound, Chris, just want to start with Ray John with his back completely to the defense on this inbound here.
I got to make a point real quick. These,
Yeah.
these refs have been watching
Like
college
before that.
basketball.
Yeah, sorry, before that, 3.
They've been watching too much college basketball. They come over here to review everything.
3.5 minute mark, we're here.
Coming up about 15 minutes
Yeah,
after
on the turnover.
conclusion of this game, the number 2 seed Eagles from Dream City Christian will take on.
All right, we'll go back to live action here, Chris.
Out of Chatsworth.
2:09, 83-76. Ray John. Travel. Yeah. Oh,
Great call. Great call.
man.
Bernardi, that's why you've got 2 in a row. That's why you got 2 in a row.
83-76. Give Ryan an assist right there.
No question.
To Coach's
question.
point, it's a great
That's
call
a
by Coach
perfect
Bernardi.
timeout.
Now, was it legit or not? I don't know. Because, I mean, he was
Give yourself
bubbling.
a chance.
Yeah, no, it's a great strategy by Bernardi, no doubt. But
Because if he doesn't,
So we're
if
still
he
talking
doesn't
about this.
call that, we're going the other way.
Okay,
For sure.
John, this is me taking it to the John Wall moment. This is point guard you right now. And point guard you right now, they're chasing, they're scrambling, and your point guard gets it up the sideline and picks up his dribble at the side. You immediately got to think middle
well,
or advance it. What's the thought process for
Front
your
of the
PG
rim
right now?
always. Front of the rim. If they go with you, get off the ball, go back and get it, run the time, get in the set. If they don't go with you, score the basket.
Yep.
Go in, but be intentional. Go in with the intention of if you have to adjust in any shape, form, or fashion, you're not open. Get off the ball.
Well, and that required no dribble either. He could have just caught, turned, and saw ahead, looked ahead, and I think it was on this side of the floor, wide open.
Yep.
So you made your first mistake was putting the ball on the floor on that play, in my opinion.
We'll get some subs in here. The game back tip there on Winters Grady. That's gonna be a skip pass to Jalen. That's gonna be a good look there.
Too.
Man, knocked down for 3, and we got ourselves a 5-point game. Ray John.
It's a 4-point game right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Don't foul.
And another turnover, and out of bounds.
You
And
can't
this
pick
144
your dribble up.
cannot get it over quick enough if you're the crew. I mean, how long? how long before you put it away?
Chuck, ball. Isaiah, ball. Hey, oh, stay home. Stay home, oh. Stay home, oh.
Here's the biggest.
The near turnover.
It's the biggest possession of your season if you're Minnesota Prep right here, defensively.
Oh, tough shot though. Big cleanup there by Nico.
No backside block out right there, and Nico just has a free run to the rim.
Nobody's in the corner right now though. Honest. Don't bring that ball down. Keezy brought that down by his waist. Went from 7 foot to about 6 foot right there.
100% understand and accept
To the free throw line.
Ryan's
To shoot 2.
philosophy at this point in the game. You're +6. You need to have a solid decision maker on the floor. DP, I don't need you to score a basket, buddy. But every time we get possession of the ball, I need the ball in your hands, and I need it to go to where it's supposed to be. If we don't have a score, go back and get it. Let us run something.
It's big.
Big free throw.
Yep.
Sophomore Bina Keezy, his numbers here so far in this ball game.
10 points, 9. So he's close to a double-double, 10 and 9.
1 or 2 at the line there. Duncan with the rebound, and here comes Minnesota. Duncan. Bam. Big shot there.
3-point
Wow.
field goal, Charles Duncan.
No, you got to go.
Yep.
Go get a layup.
Now, the thing is, you don't want to foul if you're Minnesota Prep.
Nope,
here.
you got the shot clock on your side. And the crew hasn't been making good decisions with the ball here this quarter. And now you definitely don't want to foul. 4 to go here on the shot clock. Inside look there to Keezy. Yeah, we got a foul there on the outside.
There was a foul on the play by
In all honesty, I think you'd rather take a foul right there if you're Minnesota Prep, because they got the offensive rebound, so the shot clock would have reset, more time off, and possibly a dunk put back. I think foul is best case scenario there.
So fouling out the game is Blackshear. He picks up his 6th foul.
If you're a coach right here, you're just saying, give me one. Give me one.
And you don't foul the three-point shoot.
Stay down. John Body set the check into the game here.
No threes, no foul. Yo, hold on. Time to shoot.
Correct me if I'm wrong, too, Coach. I think it's somewhat strategic subbing after a free throw so that you can get that your defense set, you know, without them getting the ball out quick and taking off.
Pull from the sharp corner. Big offensive rebound by Honest, and have a foul there by Nico.
This is something for Coach Patterson as well. Is regardless of outcome, you're happy with obviously happy with the effort.
Looked like you were going to get ran out of the gym, and they kept fighting.
Yep. Down 20 at halftime. So you're, you know, obviously there's a caveat without Patterson.
I don't know what it is about these
Peterson, excuse me.
These 116 matchups were prolific.
Yeah.
They make them real close. I think back to Albuquerque
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
But right now, you know, you're at plus 15 for the half.
2 big missed free throws there. Outlet pass.
Now go get no.
Yeah,
no,
advance it. You got numbers.
One more.
Fouls on Charles Duncan, his 3rd. Winters Grady to the line for 2.
I think you put so much pressure on your team, and the guys, even if it's not a call from the sideline, the players put so much pressure on themselves when you have to play, in soccer term, on your back foot. Like, you've got to get downhill. You're going to make far fewer mistakes when you're playing aggressively. The right play is going to reveal itself more quickly and more consistently when you're attacking and you're aggressive. When you guys are playing backwards, it allows the defense to take swings at you. It allows them, and to use a boxing term, I'm all over that with my son too, teaching him it's in the.
Oh me! Oh my!
Dude, he's almost got 40. He's got 39 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals. What a stat line!
Shot clock's
If you're gonna go down, you go down swinging.
Absolutely. Hey, and you made me think of something right there as well, Coach. If nothing else, this could be a strategy for Coach Bernardi to put actual pressure on his guys. You know, now you're feeling that pressure. You may start breathing a little harder because it's a 4-point game. You know, so get that pressure on them for in the future in this tournament. Yeah, you're going to have Peterson, but let them feel this pressure themselves to take that experience with them on into the tournament.
Strategy here, do you foul or you play this 8-second backcourt here and then foul across?
I think if you can get an immediate trap, you do it, but otherwise I think you've got to foul.
I think the way that Prolific has been playing, I play it honest. I send as much pressure as I can. I count on them to try to get the ball barely across half court and pull the air out of it. And when they do, we go and trap them again, and we turn the pressure up on them. But if I'm taking this pressure, I'm breaking contain, I'm getting to the middle, and I'm telling my guys, flood the baseline, we're getting a layup, an uncontested layup.
It's a timeout situation for Prolific here.
You got a 30.
And for Minnesota.
Number 4.
Full time, no timeouts left for Minnesota.
Yeah, Mozzie needs at least one of these, because it's probably Minnesota is probably going to get at least 2 or 3 more attempts, at least 2 more attempts.
We got shooting. Well, I got shooting. We got a pinch. We got a pinch.
There you go. Big boy move.
Gravity go. Gravity go. Chuck, pitch it. Step in the box.
Mozzie,
Sure. It's coming to you.
another free throw for the LSU commit. The Tiger.
There you go.
Knocks it down.
Yep.
Honest.
Stay down, stay down, stay down.
That's a foul. Yeah, that's a foul.
He shot that
foul.
with his left hand.
It's a foul.
How crafty is that?
Foul.
Shot it with his left hand to draw the contact. And now he's going to put up 40 plus.
Yeah, he's got a 40-point game here.
Shooting 3.
That's huge, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's
So,
huge.
Clearly, you got a chance to get it to a 1-possession game.
Yep.
Missed this on purpose? It's multi-possession game.
Nah,
No, one possession game. Knock it down.
You
Play defense.
got to have the points.
I jinxed him, didn't I?
41 for Patterson after those 2 free throws.
Fouls on number 4. Riley McPipe, that is his 6th.
6, go.
Obi Akizi for 2.
Hey, box out, big fella. Get in there, Hope. Hey, step in the box. You got a shooter, Hope. Yeah, that's with us. That's with us.
And speaking of the pressure
Yeah,
earlier,
exactly.
these are the biggest pressure moments right here. I mean, he's feeling pressure right now. You know, this isn't just a
That's
it's
a
gonna be
violation. Foul on Nico.
And trust me, those things mean something to Coach Bernardi as well, knowing that his big man can go to the line late in a game, close game, and make a free throw. It's that last one taken away, but
It's Jalen.
first.
Oh, he's pulling.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, we got a 2-point game. 2-point game, folks. goodness.
Gotta have those free throws.
Oh, my goodness.
44 for Patterson. A hero shot right there.
21, Charles Duncan. His fourth.
And he has played hero for Minnesota Prep in this ballgame. He has been outstanding.
Big free throw. Cool.
Mozzie's made 3 in a row here in big pressure situations.
He's been huge for them down the
Yeah.
stretch. Not as huge as I think he has potential to be, but definitely a step forward.
I'm a little nervous. Not gonna
Not at
lie.
all. There you go.
Heart's
Mozzie.
beating a little foul. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, folks. Oh.
Now they'll have to review
Oh,
that one.
man.
Sure. Nope.
Man, oh, man.
Already used their review. Already used the review.
Yeah, this would be the time to make sure you get it right.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say. Without us even telling them
And
to,
actually,
the refs have taken it upon
the
themselves.
ball should be
to do
taken
that.
out on the sideline, too, because that's where it went out at.
I think they're going to come check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And they should. I mean.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. That's the right way to go about it. Be sure.
The officials will review the call.
93-90.
So draw it up, Luke.
Yep,
Here he
yep.
goes. He's getting the clipboard out.
Absolutely. 1.7 to go here in this game. Minnesota Prep has not gone away. And they have just fought the good fight here in this one. It's going to be the last possession after that, Chris. That was the made 3. Want to see who it went off of. So the timeout situation, Minnesota has no timeouts. Prolific has a 30-second timeout remaining. Yep.
While we've got a quick second, Jalen Patterson is tied the three-point record. 11 threes in this ballgame,
Wow.
which ties the grind session record.
My goodness. All right, here's a look at the last play here. Chris, you have a different angle on that we can go to, maybe baseline? The opposite baseline? All right, see if you can zoom out on that if possible.
And folks, I must add here that Minnesota Prep drove 18 hours to get here to play this ball game here tonight. We had a team bail on us at the last minute. Lucas Patterson and his crew found out Thursday they were going to play this ball game and drove 18 hours and got here this afternoon.
93-90.
So, great performance. Win or lose by the Lions. And the call on the court will stand. It'll be Prolific Prep basketball on the baseline.
I'm not sure if Minnesota would have got that ball back if they don't make something happen. I'm just telling you. That is a fortunate break for the crew.
I think Mozzie's got to get the ball here or winners. They're going to definitely foul. The curl back, yep. There you go.
And there'll be some time put on the clock here. Whistle was prior to the.
They're going to have to review that now.
Yep.
No, they put .7.
Still big. Mozzie's got a chance to be a big boy again. Just, you need one of these, the game's over. There you go.
Yep.
Foul is on number 21, Charles Duncan, Mozzie Mosley.
Jeez.
And I love the fact that Mozzie went back to get the ball. The little action that they ran, he curled back to get the ball. He very easily could have taken that.
Missed that one on purpose there.
What a game. What an effort. What a game. And, wow. Wow. Jalen put up a good fight. We'll have an interview with the player of the game coming up in just a bit. This is the grind session. let's go over some of those numbers.
Yeah. Patterson, of course, we know with 44 for Minnesota Prep, carried them 20 for Alongo as well. Lost my stats here. Keep going here. $10 points for Charles Duncan was the other double-figure scorer for Minnesota Prep. Prolific, 17 from Naismith, 19 from Grady, 18 from Bandalo, 12 from Akizi, 13 from Mosley, so 5 players in double figures for Prolific. Actually, let's see Peterson, Peterson had 7. Clearly, if you didn't tune into that, Peterson did not play in the second half, not because of injury or anything, just I think Coach Bernardi just kind of testing his team to see what they were made of.
All right, listen, you guys made it interesting, man, here today. Nika, our player of the game, I think 18 points, 17 rebounds for you, so big double-double. It's like this team wouldn't go away. They put up a fight, but this is the grind session. So where do you guys move on from here? What do you take from this game and prepare for the next one on Sunday?
I mean, honestly, I think that first half is what we got to take from this game. I mean, it was a rough second half, and they did come back and make it a game, but we played really well that first half, and we assisted on 80% of our shots in the first half. I mean, that's championship-level basketball, and that's what we're trying to do. So that's what we're trying to use these games, get ready for that grind session championship, and then Chipotle after that.
And we talked about you being that X factor, too. Everybody knows, I know DP gets a lot of attention, deservingly so. But it always seems like there's another gear that you could take it as well. And I know you've been tapping into that. Talk about your game and your expectations as you go down the stretch and you guys try to check the box on some of your season goals.
I mean, obviously this year has been an unbelievable year for us. We're one of the top teams in the country, and now we just got into Chipotle. So the only thing on my mind is winning basketball games. I mean, I'm out here to develop my game and get better, obviously, but when it's on that floor, it's kill or be killed out there, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to come out on top.
All right, man, player of the game. Yeah, we'll see him again on Sunday. We got another great matchup coming up. This is the Grind Session.